top 25 and SEC scores. All right. Iowa beats Maryland 51-14. BYU beats Utah State 34-20. Any surprises with either one of those?
No.
What about Tennessee over Missouri 62-24?
Very surprised. I don't know what's going on up there, but
I think that the old boy might be doing a good job up there.
Man,
I mean, all everybody does on Facebook is make fun of him, talk about how he's overweight and sucks. But, I mean, they do.
Do they?
Yeah, and I don't know. I didn't think they played bad against Florida.
Some people are just too immature to handle a full-rounded lover.
Michigan beats Wisconsin 38-17. Michigan could be for real. We'll get back to this one we're going to break down. Georgia beats Arkansas 37-0. Wake Forest beats Louisville 37-34. Now, Matt, you wasn't shocked by this one, but I was. Cincinnati beats Notre Dame 24-13.
Yeah, Notre Dame's just been exposed again for the fraud that they are. They're not a
You
football
just think they
team.
were overranked, huh?
They're always overranked.
What about that dang Cincinnati?
The media loves them, and that's just how it is.
Right.
And they're always Ohio State's the same way, man. We can get over there and for gosh sake,
All right, Coastal Carolina are still rolling. They beat Louisiana Monroe 59-6. Ohio State beats Rutgers 52-13. OU again, still undefeated, beats Kansas State 37-31. Stanford upsets Oregon 31-24. I didn't like the call at the end of the game. I thought Oregon. I didn't think that was a pass interference. Did you?
No, they played it. Yeah, he pulled him down.
No, did he pull him down?
When he was turning for the ball, he had him by the front of the jersey. He kind of kept him from turning. I've seen worse penalties not called. Yeah,
right. South Carolina beats Troy 23-14. Alabama beats Ole Miss 42-21. That game was not that close. North Carolina State beats Louisiana Tech 34-27. Kentucky, second time in 34 years, beats Florida 20-13. Oklahoma State beats Baylor 24-14. Mississippi State upends A&M 26-22. Clemson bounces back with a win over Boston College. And what are you looking for? Oh, our picks.
Yeah.
Michigan State beats Western Kentucky 48-31. Penn State beats Indiana 24-0. Vandy survives against Connecticut 30-19. Auburn, led by Bo Nix. I'm digging in on some of them guys on purpose. 24-19 over LSU. Arizona State upsets UCLA 42-21, and Hawaii upsets Fresno 27-24.
Now, going back and dissecting into some of those games, I'd like to first bring up Oklahoma and K-State. They're going to have to do better if they're going to make this playoff.
Yeah, I mean, they've not lost a game, but let's see right now.
They're playing everybody really close, and I know a win's a win, and yes, I do agree that is true. However, their up front play, they can't get guards and tackles to move on certain plays they run. Have you noticed Oklahoma? Now you're part of the SEC now, so
look at this, man.
Let's just be careful. They're going to have to. They're not going to make it far.
Look at this.
We assumed they would. We picked them early season and maybe even being number one.
So it's the fourth game they've had this year that's been less than a touchdown.
If they're going to bring all these people back, I mean, we figured.
I just don't. I don't know. They keep winning, so obviously, if they keep winning, you can't pull the plug on them.
No, you can't.
But they're not. I mean, Kansas State was ranked. They were a little better than maybe a Tulane or a Nebraska.
Nope.
They barely beat Nebraska.
They're going to have to tighten up a little bit. Now, what'd you think about Arkansas-Georgia game?
Gosh.
I caught the first two.
I got some stats on it when you're ready for them.
The first 2 minutes, they scored 3 touchdowns. So Jefferson was 8 for 13 with 65 yards. They had 162 total yards of offense.
That averaged 480 coming in.
Minute was 7 for 11 with 72 yards. They had 345 total yards, Georgia did. They rushed for 273, and that's where you put your check mark right there. Check it.
That's where they won it.
That's where they won the game because Cook 87, White 68, McIntosh 57, Milton 48.
Yeah, they got 3. They got 3 good.
So they got 4 backs.
4.
All of them might as well went over 50 yards. And they did not turn the ball over either.
Well, they held a team that averaging 480, which argument could be, well, maybe Arkansas wasn't that good. I don't think Texas A&M's great, but I do not think Texas is bad. And Arkansas dismantled them.
Did you say there was some bad calls in the game too? Kind of changed how the game flowed
early. I'm just gonna be honest, and I wasn't the only one that saw it. And I like Georgia, but it was 21-0, and Arkansas put together a great drive, and they ripped off one for about 50, and a holding call, and then they have another real good play, and there's another call. I mean, and that was demoralizing enough. Then they were finished, So basically what happened was it's 21-0 Georgia. Arkansas had a good drive going, and they did two good things, and they both come back, and that was it. And they may have done it. But they say you can call holding every play. Why you pick the one they break a 56-yarder to call it?
I
don't know.
Let's talk about your favorite coach, Dean. Tell me about Mississippi State over there, the Bulldogs.
Well, they did pretty good yesterday, didn't they?
They sneak out a win, 26-22. Rogers was 46 for 59.
Wow. How many times they run it yesterday?
Hey, I didn't even get that stat because it wasn't even Porter. He had 400. Had 3 touchdowns. Wide receiver Polk had 126 yards.
I bet their wide receivers have a ball.
And A&M got 22 points, but Spiller, the team anchor, goes over 100 yards, and Achani.
He's good.
He didn't even get over 100 yards.
Did he not? He's the other running back, right?
Clemson 19, Boston College 13. Ugalay goes 13 for 28 for 207. And Pace, their tailback, finally gets a 100-yard rushing game against Boston College.
Mm-hmm.
Now, their quarterback throws for 311 yards against that mighty Clemson defense. But he did throw 2 picks, and that probably cost him the game, seeing that the game was only decided between 13 and 19 against Boston College. So, you Clemson fans, you better keep your shirts rolled up in your drawers right now because the camera just shut off.
Jamarius Mosteller, if you watch
it's off.
Oh.
The camera.
Oh, so you're going to turn it back on?
It's the battery's dead.
Oh, are we going on this now?
Well, it's just voice. So.
Oh, okay. So you going to finish up?
Yeah, we can. All right, if y'all are still listening, if you can hear us, sorry about that.
I was going to tell Jamarius Mosteller, you played against Kobe Pace for Clemson. I don't know if you know that. I don't even know if you're watching. You will move to Alabama right quick. What do you want to talk about next? You go ahead.
I don't know if it's. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay, I guess you can still hear us. Let's try to get through this here. Bryce Young's got over 1,000 yards passing.
He looked great yesterday.
What about Stanford and the Ducks? 31-24. Stanford pulls one out.
Last play of the game. We already talked about that, but yes, you thought it was a penalty.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Alabama here for a little bit. Yeah, what do you think? They just look dominant.
I don't know, man. I'm the biggest Alabama fan, and it's hard to talk about because they just beat the crap out of everybody. I mean, Bryce Young's back there making sandwiches and drinking iced tea and clipping his toenails. I mean, he literally had Marcus said one time,
God, he's
doing his taxes. He got his taxes done back there.
Yeah, and that takes a while.
And he even does a commercial.
He actually got them back.
Yeah, and done a commercial for H&R Block while he's waiting. I mean, they're just...
He's so accurate.
McClain may be hurt, may not be back, but Robinson Jr. Tailed off to be great. Their offensive line just dominated Ole Miss. They just run all over them. They never even had a chance to even score.
And I didn't mean it in a bad way, and I think sometimes I stop by Mom's for a little bit of it, and I think that I'm bad about this. But I'm just sitting over there going, oh, gosh, can somebody just play them decent? And she's like, oh, you ought to be happy they're winning. I'm like, it'd be nice to see an incomplete pass every now and then. I put on Facebook yesterday that third down at Bama is just a play before first down. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. That's just kind of how it is.
I mean, it's just, and the other team goes for it on fourth. They have a 16-play drive and go for it on 4th and 1 and don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get it. They converted 3 fourth downs on that drive, and then they didn't get that one.
I could say, whatever it is, it's just going to be what it is, and Alabama's just not going to be. They're not going to be challenged until
it's late.
Georgia is the only team that's really going to challenge them.
You might have. and I'm going to say this as an Alabama fan, but I'm going to pretend like I'm not one. You might as well get used to it. And I know it's aggravating, and I know it's annoying, but it's just the way it is.
We'll finish up.
Don't you agree?
Yeah, I know.
It's just the way it is.
It's like they're just way better than everybody.
Yeah,
now,
extremely.
We'll go back into this. We'll end mostly our college stuff with this game.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn LSU. They can give us a score 24-19.
24-19.
22 years.
22 years since they beat them there, right?
9 minutes left in the game. It was 17-19 LSU. Auburn goes 3 and out from their own 10-yard line. They punt. They had 64 plays. LSU had 60 plays at that mark in the game. So I'm just trying to make this out to where I don't know if I don't know if Auburn's offensive line's just he was running for his life all night. He's just trying to be a playmaker. He didn't score in the first quarter, so they take him out.
They take him out.
Put Finley in. Finley made a couple of big plays, but they come back out.
They come back. Well, they took one of them back.
So they kind of ended all that.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get on a campaign for Bo Nix. Bo Nix takes a lot of heat. But from what you watched yesterday, is this even his fault? Whatever. Well, I saw their receivers drop 3 balls yesterday. 3 balls right in their hands.
Yeah, that's not a quarterback.
You say he runs for his life constantly.
Yeah, they're just not.
And
they're just not really good at. They didn't have any. Well, they ain't recruited any kids.
But, he had a great game yesterday. Bigsby was held to 27 yards, but Hunter rushed for 80 and had a big run on that last drive. Nix had 74 and 329 total offense, man. And LSU was held to 350 yards. They had a lot of sacks. LSU rushed for like 30 yards in the ball game.
Yeah.
That was it.
You're not going to win a ball game.
No, you can't win a ball game.
Not unless you throw for 450.
He threw for 300.
Like Mississippi State does. So they'll throw for 450. It's okay if you only have 50 yards rushing.
Yeah, and see, I'm a little too hard on Mississippi State because it's not like they're not getting yards. They're just not getting rushing yards. But, hey, Auburn and LSU. Auburn won yesterday with 100 and... Well, they actually rushed for 180 yards.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was not on design running.
No, a lot of it. I mean, that 4th and 2 play, he scrambles left and right and circles back around. He gets crushed when he lets the ball go and he hooks it up for a touchdown. That changed the game. They did. They just brought the spirit back into the stadium.
He did. He kept the game.
For the Auburn fans.
He did. He fired them up. He kept their team fired up. I mean, just the sacks he avoided were just huge. And I think a lot of people just dial up a bunch of pressure against Auburn. I don't know that their line's bad. Maybe people just bring the house against them, But it seems like there's an awful lot of pressure on him. But I think, as for right now, I think he's got the critics off his back for at least another week, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, well, just until the media starts talking.
Well, Finley did come in, and I wouldn't say that he did terrible. He was 0 for 3. He completed one that was long, but it come back. And then they put Nix back in, and that's when Nix really started to
well, it don't get no better.
Just roll.
We'll have, let's see.
Oh, their schedule's very, very tough. Who does Alabama got this week?
Okay, let's see. We'll talk about this and this.
No, their schedule does not get any better.
Next week, Georgia's at Auburn, so that's going to be. It is what it is.
No, we got to go over. We got to re-pick these and go over what our picks. You want to go over our picks from last week, real quick?
Go through that. Arkansas's at Ole Miss. Oklahoma is going to play, of course, the Red River rivalry. It's that Cotton Bowl at Dallas. Bama's at A&M. And Penn State is at Iowa. Should be an interesting game.
Big game right there.
Michigan's at Nebraska. Now, I know that's not really probably a big game, but
Nebraska is playing better.
Them poor guys, they ain't going to win a darn game.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's what somebody said the other day. I heard an expert say, this is the best team he's had up there. He's got a good team, but they're doing as much as they can.
Let's see here. All right, last week, Dean, what do we have?
All right, Auburn, LSU. I had Auburn, you had LSU. So that makes me 1. What did I just do right
there? Let's cut the podcast off.
Oh, crap.
Let's see. Oh, it's still there. We're back.
All right, Arkansas, Georgia. We both had it. All right, so you got that one.
I mean, I picked LSU. I mean, they ain't beat them in 22 years. You wouldn't think they'd do it tonight. I picked them. But.
We both picked A&M. We lost. Yeah. We both picked Kentucky. No, I picked Florida. You picked Kentucky. Okay. Michigan, we both picked Michigan. We both picked Bama. All right, so we both did pretty good. You won. We both lost that one. Let's see. I think we went 5-2. So, or 4-2. 4-2.
The Auburn, I just didn't. I really wouldn't thought they'd have won that game.
I don't know why. I just think I wasn't real high on LSU.
They're not real good. Next
but
week,
that's a big win for Auburn.
Georgia at Auburn, which that's one of the oldest tradition games in college football.
Mm-hmm.
So
who you taking?
I take Georgia.
Yeah, I'm not going to pick against Georgia right now. I actually
They're
playing anybody.
Good. Arkansas at Ole Miss.
I have no idea.
Gosh, man, I don't know. Ole Miss is reeling from that loss from Alabama, and the game's at Ole Miss.
Both of them gets hammered.
I'm gonna go Ole Miss.
I think I'm going to join you on that one.
We're sticking together here.
Yeah.
Oklahoma and Texas, the Cotton Bowl, Red River rivalry. Go get you corn dog and ride the Ferris wheel and do all that.
Man, I'm going to go Texas.
Okay, I'll go Okie.
Okay. I'll go a little different this time. I just think Bama and A&M. I don't even think A&M's that great.
We've really missed that one this year.
Yeah.
I think everybody did.
Yeah.
Penn State and Iowa. I'm going to go home team.
I'm going to go with Penn State.
Michigan, Nebraska.
Michigan. But, can I say possible upset alert? Hey, they're fired up in Nebraska. Guys, they're 3-3, but they've lost 3 games by a touchdown.
It would be an upset for Nebraska to even win a football game at this point in their career, their life of their team.
Right.
I mean, they can't even hardly win a game.
No. They're just, and they barely lose.
I know.
That's what's crazy about it. It's not like they're getting hammered.
They'll lose last seconds of the
last second. Did you see how Michigan State beat them? Run a punt back.
Yeah. We'll mention this, and we're gonna get off here because our camera's done died. I'm gonna have to get a cable. I'm gonna have to get HDMI cord to plug the camera to the computer so I can run a cord to the wall to keep it plugged up. It's just.
All right, man.
I didn't want to have to do that because we can run it about an hour, but if we go over an hour, the battery ain't gonna run.
Right.
It ain't gonna last. And I'm using the cable that, if anybody's wondering, my tech savage guys, why don't you just plug it up? Wait, because the port that I'm using to plug to the computer to run it is the battery plug port, so I can't do both. Anyway, today Jets and Titans had played. I think we had some. The Packers were beating the Steelers earlier. Right now, I'm fixing to go in here and eat some potato chips. I'm gonna watch the Bucks as Tom Brady returns to the Patriots. I'm gonna go check that out.
Huh?
Bills, Raiders, Bengals, and Titans all playing today. And then we'll finish up with the MLB. The NL East, the Braves did win. They won out, won a pennant. We've seen some of that.
Stick with them.
Yeah, I will for a while.
Tuesday, they play Tuesday?
Yeah, I think they got the Padres maybe coming in.
Okay.
They beat the Mets 6-5. The AL now, the Rays, White Sox, and the Astros, they're 19 ahead right now. And then the NL, you got the Brewers, Giants, and the Braves are 5.5 games up. Now the Red Sox and the Yankees are tied in the AL East. They're 91-70. So we'll see how it turns out. I just kind of lost interest in the Braves a long time ago. They hurt my feelings too many times, and I just kind of got burnt out on it. So, but I like covering. People like to hear it.
Yeah, and this may be the year. I mean, they have won one.
I know. They say that every year. The same thing they said in 95 when I threw my 96 when I threw my
95 they won it.
In 96 I threw my Braves hat out of the window of the truck coming from Rome.
We're going to go look for that thing. Get us a big chicken breast at Evans. Go look for
some chicken liver.
You want that? You remember that big chicken?
Oh, it took me 2 days to eat it. I had to go home and eat it for lunch.
We'll find it before you eat that one.
Gosh, guys. All right, we're going to get off here. Camera's died. We're finished up. Had a great time with Coach Howard. We're really glad he came.
Yeah.
Spring Garden, Panther Nation over there. Good luck to y'all and the rest of our teams in the county. Wish everybody luck on travel. So whoever's having to travel, We will be at Cedar Bluff covering the Battle of Highway 68. We will be giving free autographs.
Free autograph.
So if you ain't doing that and you're in the area, if your Warrior team has traveled off and you don't get to go, you can come over to Cedar Bluff.
We're going to start charging for these autographs at some point.
Yeah, maybe $0.25 a piece.
Yeah. Well, I need a few Cokes.
All right, guys.
We got to get them chicken livers, don't
Y'all keep your heads clear. Keep your hearts full of God as always, and we'll have some news on the show page through the week. I'll have some stuff coming and going, and it's going to be a wild another weekend for high school football. It's getting in the meat of the season.
Yeah, this is big.
People are starting to move for position.
Every game's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are starting to jock for position.
Right. Big time of the year. There'll be teams going home, and there'll be teams making the playoffs, and we'll find that out within the next 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah. It's fixed to go down. I'm going to start getting together some kind of bracket here. Probably next 2 weeks. I don't know if they're going to do it Region 1 plays 3 or 1 plays 2 and 3 plays 4. I don't know how they're going to do it this year. So, anyway. All right. See y'all, guys. Y'all have a great week. God bless you.
Have a good week.
Yo.